Hello everybody and welcome back to Gaming on Caffeine. My name is Isaac and we are back playing some FTB Infinity for episode 48, and I would like to start by apologizing for the massive multi-day gap between the last couple of episodes. We've been having some real troubles with the world. It got corrupt like a few times, the server's been crashing, a whole host of issues over the past couple of weeks, but thankfully it is now back up and running and it seems more stable than ever. I'm getting like better frame rates and everything. It looks pretty good, so hopefully we should be fine and we should be back to some more regular releases of the Feed the Beast Infinity videos. But without further ado, let's jump back into what we were working on last episode. First of all, we have ourselves the charge pad over here, which we keep coming back to, but if we go ahead and look on the roof here, we now have these three advanced solar panels, which are now all hooked up with insulated gold cable. And if we run down here and stand on this guy, we get this nice little particle effect as well as the green light. And if we go ahead and take a look at our diamond drill here, you can see it's at 30,000 EU. If we were to run outside and do something like this, and I think we should actually be better off doing this on dirt, because I think dirt seems to like take just a ton of power out of the thing. Like that. We are now on 27.4. If we fly back over, we were just like a general day. We're walking back home. We're about to go craft something in our AE system. We stand about here. We open up our AE system. We start doing some stuff. Yada, yada, yada. Blue particle effect. Our drill is now fully charged. We walk back out. We never have a drill that is not charged ever again, which is absolutely fantastic. So that's just a little thing that we've done since the end of last episode. But the main thing that we were working on last episode was getting this guy, the Platinum Queen, which, again, still sounds like a music album. I know a bunch of people commented that as well. It sounds like that's a good album. People who make music, if you're watching, that should be your next album, Platinum Queen. But anyway, we've got ourselves a Platinum Queen, and now what we need to do is start to actually process this Platinum Queen to infinitely get ourselves a ton of platinum, aka shiny metal. Now, at the end of last episode, we combined, I think it was the Invar, we bred the Invar Queen over here in this apiary, and if you remember, it took a heck of a long time, like far too long. It took like 30 minutes in real life time, which is too long to wait for a bee to breed. And the reason it took that long is because the temperature and the humidity weren't right for that bee. Now, unfortunately, the Platinum Queen is even more picky, and it turns out the further down the line you get when it comes to bees, the pickier and pickier and pickier they get. So what we're going to do to mitigate that is we're going to go ahead and make ourselves another machine from Gendustry. This time, we are going to make ourselves the Industrial Apiary, which is this guy all the way over here. It doesn't help when you've got BiblioCraft installed and everything shows up with the word Industrial, but it's down here, the Industrial Apiary. Fairly easy to make, actually. I don't think we have all of this stuff, but we should be able to get it fairly simply like that if we happen to have a gold pressure plate. Do we have any sand? We do not. Do we have any cobble? We do. If we just throw this into here, that should get us some glass, because of course this breaks down to sand, this melts up that sand into glass, everything should be good. It might take a while because all of the overclockers in there have been moved elsewhere. I think I've got most of them in here. Okay, I have no idea where they've gone. They're somewhere. We'll get them back at some point. They might be down in the recycler and the mass fabricator, but for now, let's see. What are we missing? We're missing a sturdy casing. Thankfully, we do have quite a bit of bronze after last episode. We should already have a piston. We do. We are missing that. And boom. Nice, I guess it's an Industrial Apiary. And now I have a question. I have played with these, but I cannot remember if they require power or not. So, my initial thought was to replace this apiary here with my Industrial Apiary, but my thoughts will change if this thing requires power, which it does. So, let's pick this guy up, and let's put it... I'd like to still put it over here. I don't want to jam everything into this corner, because we already have the mutagen stuff over here, but I think we might just have to put it somewhere over here due to the fact that it requires quite a bit of power. So we'll stick it down there for now. That should start to fill it with power pretty quickly. It's also going to drain our power pretty quickly as well. And you'll notice that this looks somewhat similar to the apiaries we have behind us over here. We have two slots here, one for the queen and the drone, or the princess and the drone. These 4 slots here we'll get to in a second. Over here, we have always on, enabled by redstone, disabled by redstone, or disabled altogether. Allows you to change whether or not you want to be able to turn this thing on on and off with levers and redstone and such like that. And we also have this over here. It says no queen. Energy requirement is currently 20 redstone flux per tick, which is pretty good. And the temperature and humidity are currently normal. However, if we were to go ahead and grab our good old friend, the Bealyzer, which I think is in this AE system for some unknown reason, but we'll take a look here. And if we run our princess, or our queen, sorry, through the Bealyzer, you can see we have our platinum queen. And if we were to go ahead and hold shift over it, it says it likes the temperature normal and the humidity normal, but underneath that, it says nether. So, again, if we were to throw that in here, the queen bee in there, I'm actually going to take that out for a second, because I don't want to do that just yet. Basically, what we need to do is we need to make the humidity, and actually, oh wow, the one I played with before when I tested it in a single player world wanted like extreme humidity and like really low really high temperature as well. It was a bit odd, but apparently this one doesn't. However, it does want nether, which means the flowers that we use do have to be nether wart. So we'll grab this, and hopefully just putting it down here will be enough. Like that. I have no idea if this is going to be right, but I'm hoping this will be good. Now, the main advantage of using an industrial apiary over a normal apiary are these 4 little slots over here, because these allow you to throw upgrades into your apiary that allow it to do a bunch of different stuff. So, if we fly back over to our normal AE system, type in Gendustry, and then flick across a couple of pages to wherever the heck the upgrades are kept, which is over here, you can see we have a bunch of upgrades. One over here is the Hell Emulation upgrade, which changes the biome override to Hell and changes the energy consumption to 50% extra than what it is by default. I don't think we need this, although we might. I'll test that out in a second. But some of them that I definitely want is this one here, the production upgrade, which does increase the energy cost, but also increases the production, which increases the amount of stuff we get from these bees. Now, to make this, we are going to need quite a bit of royal jelly, 1 for each of them. You can have a maximum of 8 installed in each industrial apiary, as well as an upgrade frame, which is made using tin, golden nuggets, and redstone. Fairly easy stuff. I'm just going to take a stack of golden nuggets straight away, because we are probably going to need quite a few of these. And then if you wanted to make the temperature hotter or colder, or the humidity, I guess, moistener or less moistener, I don't know, we would need, you can put dryer upgrades in, you can put heater upgrades in, you can put humidifier upgrades in, and cooler upgrades in to change the humidity and the temperature over the industrial apiary to make it so the bee works as fast and as optimal as is humanly possible. There's also a bunch of other ones you can get here. You can get plains emulation, light upgrade, flowering upgrade. I think the light upgrade means that you don't need the beam. Oh no, wait, the sky upgrade means that you don't need to see the sky. Open sky upgrade, so you can put it inside and don't have to have it seeing the sky. But for now, we are going to go ahead and get 8 of these production upgrades, which requires us to get at least 8 of these, which should be fairly easy. We've got a ton of redstone, gold, and tin. And then this might work. I don't think we have any sugar. No, we don't. Wow. Okay, so question time. Is there an easy way to get sugar that doesn't require sugar? We can use honey in a pot. And that is exactly what we are going to do. We are going to make a pot because we have quite a bit of honey now. Like, we have a ridiculous amount of honey potential. So if we grab a pot here from Pam's Harvest Craft and we run over to, say, our chest over here filled with royal jelly bees, which I think is this one. We got quite a bit of royal jelly. We've also got quite a bit of dripping comb, as well as honeycomb. Honeycomb, I think, has the highest chance of giving us actual honey. So let's throw you through there. We already have 21 honey already, so we can just take that and do something like this. Probably not the best use of honey. Honey's probably a bit more valuable than sugar is, and we should really set up some kind of sugarcane farm sometime in the near future if we want to use a bit more sugar than we're already using. But let's throw that in there. Let's jump back over to the... can I have an upgrade? I can. No, I can. Yeah, okay, let's do that. And then, do we have enough? We're going to need at least 8 of those, which means we need some more flipping Tinker's Alloy. So I'm going to go away, guys. I'm going to make some more Tinker's Alloy and get ourselves enough stuff to make all of these gears. I'll be back in a second. And a little while later, we should have enough stuff to make 8 of those if we throw all of our royal jelly into. Almost enough. If we take ourselves some more Tinker's Alloy and try that again, we should have enough 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then finally, the last upgrade that I want to make for now is the automation upgrade, which is going to come in very useful a little later on down the line, because basically what it does is... oh, come on now, work with me here, game. Basically, what it allows us to do, we want the one from Thermal Foundation, is automate it. Like what we have right now with our Apiarist pipes and our Buildcraft pipes over there, it does that. but without the need for apiarist pipes and Buildcraft pipes. It just automatically, when the queen has broken back down into a princess and some more drones, it will put the princess back in this slot, the drones back in that slot, and repeat the process again, which is pretty awesome. So, first of all, let's throw that in there and that in there. You'll see that the energy requirement has gone up now to 94.6 redstone flux per tick, and we are going to have to go ahead and sleep real quick because it is dark outside, and there's probably an upgrade that would make it so we don't have to go to sleep because it's dark outside, and instead our apiary would just work forever and ever and ever and ever, but unfortunately we don't have that upgrade just yet, so we are going to fly back over here, and we are going to stick our platinum queen into this apiary and see what happens. So we'll throw that in there. You can see it says no error, which means the biome is fine, the temperature and humidity are all fine, everything is fine, and it should be working. Production modifier is 344%, so he's getting a ton more production thanks to all of those upgrades. It is using more power, but for us, power isn't too much of an issue. Territory, I'm not quite sure what territory does yet, with the 9x and 6x9. Not quite sure what that's about. I wonder if it, like, affects other beehives in the area or anything like that, but that should start to work. You can see it's a 2%. It's going to take a long time. I don't think there's any kind of speed upgrade here, unfortunately, so it is going to take quite a bit of time to actually get this to go. Genetic stabilizer, jungle, territory, open sky, heat, sieve, automation. Yeah, I don't think there are actually any that allow it to go any faster, unfortunately, so we kind of just have to wait and see this thing out. But as you can see already, we're already 3% in, and we only have 2 honeycombs and 1 shiny nugget, thanks to the extra production value we have in this thing, and thanks to the industrial apiary. So, as it's going along, it will produce quite a few of these shiny nuggets. So once we get 9 of them, of course, we can make those into actual shiny ingots, and then we can throw those into our AE system. You can see we've got 2 there already. By the time we get to 100%, we will have, I think, about 2 ingots worth of shiny metal, which is not a ton, but to be fair, we don't use shiny metal all that often, and considering its rarity already, getting 2 every, I don't know, half an hour, at least while the servers, even when I'm not here, while the server's just running on its own, is pretty awesome. We should come back to have a constant supply of shiny metal. One thing we should probably do is have that quickly pump out and into our AE system. Now, I wonder how I could do that. I think I'd need some form of interface, and then probably just a transfer node or an item duct. Yeah, let's try that. Let's grab ourselves an ME interface real quick, which we should be able to make. Did we teach our system how to make this into... We didn't teach our system. We should teach our system how to make ME interfaces. We have everything to make it, though. We can take you, and then we can take you. This is a glitch, by the way. It doesn't actually let you keep the stuff. I've had people before accuse me of being in cheat mode when NEI glitches like this. If you just drag it, it gives you extra. It gives you, like, looks like you're about to take them, but you actually can't. Anyway, we got ourselves our ME interfaces. Let's grab ourselves some item ducts, like the ones we don't have. So instead we're going to grab ourselves a transfer node and take this upgrade slot here. We're going to empty it out because we don't need any of this stuff in here. And instead what we're going to do is we're going to pull out shiny nuggets straight into the AE system. It is as simple as that. We'll throw that down about there. We'll grab ourselves one of our shiny nuggets. You can see we have 5 already, which is pretty nice. We'll do something like that. And then we can go and put down this. I have no idea if this works, by the way. It does, apparently, which is very nice indeed. And then now it should only pull out shiny nuggets. In all fairness, we could probably also have it pull out the honeycombs, which I think I will actually go ahead and do. We don't want it to pull out the bees. That is something we definitely don't want it to pull out because we want the automation upgrade to work. We want it to continue to do what it's doing. And that's not what I wanted. I wanted you there. So we'll throw that like that. I think the automation upgrade will probably counteract the transfer node anyway and put it back over here. But just to be on the safe side, we're going to do this. And now if we look in here, we can see that we are constantly getting our nice influx of shiny nuggets, which is pretty awesome. And shiny platinum queens aren't the only ones that are useful. There are a ton of extra bees. One of them that really caught my eye was the oil bee. If we type in oil, and look over here, we have the oily queen, which, as you may have guessed already, if we go ahead and press U, actually, instead of R, and look at the uses for this bee, and we go over to here, you can see that if we go ahead and throw this through an apiary, we get a chance of getting some old combs, and also a chance of getting an oily comb, which we can then use to go ahead and get ourselves oily propolis, as well as some honey drops, which we can then use to turn it into oil, which we could use for anything. We could use this to make ourselves some power. We could use it for basically all kinds of stuff. Now, this one might be a bit counterintuitive if we wanted to use it for power, if we used the industrial apiary, but if we put it like, if we had like 20 of them in these normal apiaries, just working at normal speed, or even in alvearies working at normal speed, we could go ahead and just get a ton of oil from those and kind of power some of our base resources off of that stuff. I say I might work on that because that could be kind of cool. Having all of this, like, machinery that we have in the bee area constantly powered by bees, having its own like, self-contained area would be pretty awesome. You can also use honey as a source of power in quite a few generators as well. But for now, we are going to leave things out there as they are. They're kind of working okay. We might come back to that in the future, but I know not everybody is huge fans of bees. I don't want to spend the next like 200 episodes working to get all of the bees that we possibly can, although that would be fairly interesting. Instead, we are going to move on, and we're getting very close to episode 50. We have something pretty special planned in terms of this room over there for episode 50, as well, of course, the world download that will come alongside episode 50. But for now, guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to end the episode here. I know it's been a bit of a short one. Hopefully you didn't mind too much. Hopefully you enjoyed it nonetheless. Next time we will come back, we will be working on something that is not bees, and maybe start working on some of the prep work for episode 50's little top secret task down here. I don't think we've really changed anything else since the end of last episode that I want to talk about. We'll do a quick check on our quarry over here. I do want to speed this guy up as well. As much as we have like a ton of resources right now, I would very much like to get this thing as up to speed. It's not running. And also, oh my gosh, we need to fix this. This is horrible. Every so often, I have to come in here and like empty snowballs out. It's like a chore that I have on top of like playing Minecraft. I have to go ahead and just empty out all of the snowballs that have clogged up my little quarrying machine over here. But that should go ahead and keep working. We need to like sift out all of these bees and stuff and the seeds and just random junk that's lying around over here. But I would like to speed this up even further with the speed 3 upgrade. I'd also like to put fortune on there so that we get even more redstone, diamonds, coal, lapis, etc, apatite, which we haven't even used yet. We could do with jumping into forestry. There is a whole area of forestry that's like the bees, but instead of bees we have trees, which is also something we'll probably jump into later on down the line in the series. But for now, guys, thanks for watching. If you did enjoy the video and you're liking the series so far, be sure to hit that like button. It helps out a ton. Leave a comment down below, tell me what you thought of the episode, and I will see you guys next time.